Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Rich Tech. In this episode, I'm going to unbox and hopefully review something in this. It's quite large, as you can see. Stay tuned as we get there, starting now. Hi guys, okay, so we are back, and this time I have this really large package that I got. I don't know if the video came out before and it might have alerted you before, but I hope that this is a surprise. And so we are going to unbag this and then unbox it. So here goes. This is like one of the largest bags I've ever seen, especially when you're buying retail. Probably keep that because it's kind of cool. All right, and guys, check this out. What does it say? It's a DVR. For those of you who don't know what DVRs are digital video recorders. They are actually used, for camera systems and so forth. So basically, my previous DVR, if you had a look at my old videos, if you have been a fan from a very long time, thank you so much. And yeah, I had that old DVR, lasted really long, about 3 years or so, and 3 or 4 years, and decided to finally retire. So I got this actually on a very good deal. You can actually find this on Amazon, but it's not a very popular brand on Amazon. I saw no ratings on Amazon, but I found this in a local tech store. And the brand is actually something called Olex.La, which means I assume that because it has Olex.La, it is a more South American or that Caribbean area, Latin America product that is being offered by a company that is most likely in Latin America. But what I really liked about this is that they claim that it is HD, and so I decided that buy this. This is approximately 150 to 160 USD. On Amazon, and hopefully, as I say, it's worth it. I actually paid I got a decent price of $1,300 TT dollars. If you divide that, you have to divide that by 6.7, let's say 7. So it was less than $200 US dollars I paid for it. Now this one doesn't come on any hard drive and so forth. Usually for that price you won't find a hard drive, especially there's some cheaper ones on Amazon, DVRs, that cost about $100, and you can buy a hard drive and it probably would come up to the price of this, but I'm hoping that this is a better quality. So let's get to the unboxing. So we're back, and I believe that you should be able to see it here. It's a DVR, digital video recorder, obviously, and they highlight DVR for you to understand what that means. A lot of it here is in Spanish. It says something about vision and vivo. I'm not exactly sure what that is. This is probably the back of the box, actually. And so I guess we should probably start here. All right, so it says here, no matter where you live, where you are, we deliver the new live view close to your eye. So obviously we see that there's some issue with the English, but nevertheless, I understand what they're trying to say. It says H.264. Now that is the normal standard nowadays as of 2016 and up or so. Maybe even 2014 actually, they started to switch over to the H.264. It's not H.264 network per se, it's really H.264 video encoding. It's the type of video that is being encoded. Why is that important? Well, it's a high compression codec that basically allows you to record at a very clean quality, and with also saving storage space and so forth. All right, so I see some icons here. It looks like Chrome, Safari, Firefox, Internet Explorer. So I'm assuming that this is going to be compatible somehow with the browser. You can actually use your browser to connect it. It is in Network DVR, meaning that you can connect your network, use any device that is on your network to access the cameras, because the cameras connect to the DVR. We'll get into more details very soon. I'm trying to go as fast as I can to avoid slowing things down. It actually says compatible. It doesn't say the word compatible, but it says Windows Mobile, iOS, Symbian OS, and Android, so it seems to have a wide compatibility range per se. And and most importantly, at the bottom there's some icons like Internet Explorer. I guess, I don't know if they mean internet. They have VGA. Excuse me. They have what seems to be like a network icon, H.264, mouse, USB, phone. I guess it's to make the packaging. So the packaging does look really, really nice. It also says P2P via the QR code. So I'm guessing, okay, so for those of you who don't know what that means, it basically means that you can use this thing without having to do a lot of setup. You just put it onto the network as long as the network has internet, and it does everything pretty much for you, and you'll be able to access it when you are outside of your home network. When you're on the internet and so forth, you should be able to connect. So peer-to-peer kind of means that. In this context, it doesn't always mean that, but in this context, that's what it means. So it says no firewall router configuration, which is nice. So it means that most likely this is going to connect to outside service, a cloud service, and then you'll access the cloud service with your phone. And we'll probably get into that as we go along. As I said, depending on how long this video goes. All right, so what I also see here is H.264 compression. It says it's a Linux operating system, which I already know that most of these devices use some sort of embedded Linux. It says multiplex operation. I'm assuming that what they mean is multiple connections at the same time, multiple things are happening, multiple processing encoding is happening. It says remote independent operation, which means we could remote into this from another device. Variable frame rate and quality level. So we'll get to the quality levels. Hopefully this thing has some HD quality, because I saw HD somewhere and no, I'm not seeing HD, but anyways. And remote mobile phone. Sweet. So that's on the front. The side, pretty much the same. Shows you the model. This seems to be the OLD916 model, 16 channel. This is an actual 16 channel. What that means is 16 cameras is compatible, connected. You can connect 16 cameras at the same time. And also on the other side, it says pretty much the same thing. Oh, it actually has a different model number here. It actually says DVR 6516. Did I say that? Did I say that? Yeah, so it has a different model number here. The actual model number is here. All right, that's totally fine. It says made in China, DC output, etc. 12 volts, right? So basically 12 volts. Now, as we look at the back, we'll see H.264 network, blah, blah, blah. Video input. So it has the video input. That's the connections. Basically, at the back, you connect these Bnc ports to your cameras. And then, what else does it have there? Okay, so it has a video out, which is pretty much a Bnc cable that connects to your RCA output. So if you have an old TV, they would have most likely an RCA input. That's the long-time TVs. You can use that to get to there. It also has a VGA port. It has an HDMI port, which I will probably be using. It has a network port to connect to our network. That is good. And that's pretty much it. A power port, PTZ, etc. I'm not going to use PTZ. What PTZ means is pan, tilt, and zoom. That's for special cameras that you can actually set the cameras to be motorized cameras that move left, right, up, down, etc., which we don't have. All right, so let's get to the unboxing very quickly. So we'll go to the top. Oh, it actually says here at the top, HD network, digital video recorder, leading the D1 new age. I hope it's not going to be D1 quality, because D1 quality is not really good. That's what I had before. All right, so let's go. All right, so we have a little thing here to open. And here we go. Ooh, some interesting bubble wrap in here. Some unusual bubble wrap, I have to say. Ooh, oh, wow, okay. Wow, all right, so very, very interesting sort of wrapping. And let's see what else we have in the box here. We have a CD with some stuff, and a very small manual, and a few screws and so forth, so we'll get to that. And what else is in the box here? Again, we have something in that box. All right, so that's pretty much empty there. So I'm just gonna put that aside, and let's have a look at what is inside this brown box here. All right, so inside this brown box, oh, okay, right. So we have the piece of the adapter that will be powering this thing up. We have power cord that connects to the adapter as well. I guess they're separated, which I think is a good thing. Olex on the back, 12 volts. And we seem to have a few different items here. Wow. Oh wow, okay, so it comes with an actual remote. So we can actually use the remote to control and do all sorts of different stuff. I'll probably go into more detail here. And my goodness, as if that was not enough, it comes with its own mouse. That's pretty cool as well. I mean, it's not something I would expect, but that's really, really cool. So let's put aside the accessories for a little while, and let's check the actual device itself. I have to say I do initially like the packaging. It does it is a very impact packaging. And this, guys, is the Olex DVR, as you can see it here. I can see that there's a slight scratch here already. Not exactly sure why that is like that, but apparently it is. You still see the stickers. It looks brand new, not really touched, because usually when you touch this, you see you get marks, so it's definitely brand new. And the front, as you can see here, the front actually has like HD digital recorder, power, infrared, which is for the remote, menu, escape, and some arrows and an OK button here. No port on the front per se, but if we turn this thing around as well, we'll see if you know anything about DVRs, you know that this looks like the standard output, except this has, of course, 16. If you never had a 16, it will have 16 ports. These are what we call the Bnc ports, and so they connect whatever cameras, the cable cameras, we connect them back into here, and so each one is a channel basically. As I said, the box was a little bit different because I can see here that we only have an audio out. This one does not seem to be compatible with older types of outputs. When I say older types of outputs, older TVs that use the RCA, we are not seeing the RCA on this here. So we won't be able to send an output from here out into an older TV which has a RCA input. The yellow, that's normally the yellow jacks on those inputs. This is what RCA looks like. This is what BNC looks like. So we see audio out, which is not really useful to us. There is the HDMI, as I said. There is the there's two USB ports. There is a LAN port, and we have audio in. We do have a VGA, so that's if you want to connect up to a computer and so forth, or when I say a computer monitor, you could also do that as well. And of course our power ports. And that's pretty much the introduction to the Olex.La digital video recorder. So guys, in a few minutes, you'll probably see the inside when I put in back the hard drive. Stay tuned. We're back again, this time with another screwdriver, and it works perfectly fine. So this is on the other side. Let's see how that goes. Right, very thin screws, very short screws. It doesn't take long to unscrew. So we have two screws out. Let's see if this is going to be easy to open. Hopefully it is. Okay. And I noticed that there's another screw to the back, so we're going to have to take that one out as well. You see this? I don't know why they make it so deceptive. This is not this brand, but just in general, it's like they hide the screws as if, you know, there's some big deal on why they need to hide the screws. I just think it's ridiculous. There's also actually 3 screws at the back, so those 2 screws would not have hold it. You could have 1, 2, and 3 here. So bear with me as I take out these screws. Guys, in the meantime, please consider subscribing, please consider liking. By liking this video, you'll also be sending it out to others that may need assistance or need help on how these things actually work. And pretty much, you know, to be honest, these are just like computers. They work similarly. What you see on the inside is probably a major motherboard, a main motherboard. Once in a while there's a sister board or so forth, but usually just one motherboard that does everything. So it's sort of like an all-in-one motherboard on the inside. All right, so let's see how easily this thing is going to come out or not. This part is usually the tricky part. Okay, so all I had to do was lift it out and it opens up, and it's amazing, right? It's amazing to see what's really inside this. Look at this small motherboard, and this small little board is doing all this different stuff and doing conversion and everything as well. So guys, now inside here you'll notice that there's a nice little fan that they put in. That's good to keep things cool, I guess. And what we have here is not much to deal with. We already got the Sata cables. That's beautiful. I'm surprised. Usually they don't always do this, but it seems to support 2 Sata cables, which means that we can actually put 2 hard drives in this thing, which is really, really cool. The last one I had could have only put in 1. And if you notice, there are actual screw holes at the underneath. They did give some screws here, and that's to mount down the hard drive onto these pieces. So as you can see, it's really, really it looks really good, I would say, and it has the vents to keep the hard drive, the heat out. So I think they did an excellent job. Inside is not really rusty, but slightly brown. That's okay. That's maybe just a small manufacturer defect per se, but this thing looks pretty much intact. It comes with literally its own, it comes with a custom made power. So because what you need, usually the hard drives need both SATA power and SATA connection. So basically that's what it is. So we're just gonna connect up the hard drive, the power on the hard drive to this, and then we're ready to roll. So stay tuned again. Guys, so we're back, and I finally this hard drive was supposed to be working the last time, so I'm gonna use it back. Surprisingly made in 2009. This thing is lasting pretty long, right? So yeah, you see that the drive itself, there's actually two places to put the drives. So let me just make some way, and it seems that the drive will only be able to fit in one direction, which is that way. All right, so as I said, it already has the holes, so we're going to try to get this thing as best as possible into at least two of the holes, because they don't actually line up exact from what I'm seeing here, but that should still be fine. All right, see the holes there? You're going to try to get this to line up, but before we do that, let's probably we should put on the power. And that's a simple thing. You just well, that's kind of a bit awkward, but okay, you put it back. You have to put it back wrong side like that. Okay, and this is the SATA. So it doesn't have any numbers from what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing whether this is SATA 1 or SATA 2, so I'll just use this one in the meantime and get this thing plugged in. There's only one way that it could really fit, so well, it definitely doesn't want to fit the way I want it to fit, but ooh, that kind of sucks. Okay, all right, so it might be right here. Yeah, that's it. It's a very tight fit, as you can see, very tight fit on two, but should be good enough to go. And now we get this thing seated. Now the thing is, remember guys, this has moving parts, so you don't want to damage this. Now you got some screws here, and we're going to use these screws to mount the hard drive. We have enough for we have two sets of 4 screws, which I'm not even going to use the 4. I'm just going to use pretty much 2 here. So let me just bring this back here, and let's get going. All right, so how I try to do this is and it's very awkward to get this thing in, but we flip it and we sort of have to move around to get this to align it to the screw holes basically. And that's what I'm doing here now. So we have one there, and hopefully I can get that in. Without it cross-threading, because cross-threading is going to be another issue. But it went in very easily. Oh, it's actually lining up. The 4 is actually lining up the way we want it to. So that's excellent. So in that case, I'll try to get it on a diagonal here so that it will hold, so that I don't have to hold it on this awkward position. And yeah, so it's not really, it's actually like building a computer, except it's actually quite simple, even simpler than that. So since we have all these screws, we might as well screw it down one time. Is this the old screws? These are the old screws, and they are rusty. So yeah, so pretty much, look, you see, it's already holding up. So just gonna put in back all 4, powered up, and then we should be rolling with the punches, as they say. Guys, at this point in time, since it's probably boring time, please consider subscribing, please consider liking, and share it out to whoever might need some help with determining how to set up the DVR. And that's pretty much it, guys. We have a drive in. We probably want this drive, it should be as tight as possible, because if the screws are not tight, there's a chance that the vibration of the drive will make noise, and if you have this thing near you or in the same room as where you're sleeping, might be a little bit too noisy. Alright, so we tighten the drive, we plugged in the power, and all we need to do now is cover it back. This cover was a lot easier than the older model that I had. You just seat it to the front and just push it down to the back, and that's pretty much it.